Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. My name is Skyla Ramirez. Let's get started. Today, we are going to work with a lot of lymphatic drainage techniques. This class right now is during a transition of seasons. We're moving into the fall, and where we are, especially in Texas, this is where your allergies can start to get irritated. So we want to go ahead and just start boosting the immune system to be sure that we are all ready to stay healthy for the holidays that are just around the corner. So let's get started in any easy seated position today. So from wherever you are in your seated position, take a moment and just start to notice the breath. Notice where it is in the body, and notice if it feels easier to inhale through your nose or through the mouth. Preferably inhaling through the nose. There are a lot of health benefits to inhaling through the nose. However, at any time, if you're noticing any obstructions with your breath, of course, just keep breathing. Breathe through the nose and the mouth, any combination of the two. Let's place one hand over our heart and then one hand on the belly. Allow your chin to drop. Still noticing the breath in the body. Beginning with noticing if it's easier to inhale through the nose or the mouth. And now noticing what part of the body receives the breath with the most ease. Noticing if the breath stays up in the chest, around the heart. Maybe the breath moves a little lower down to the belly, hips, and abdomen. Perhaps noticing if we feel for the breath in the low back of the body. Noticing if any other parts of the body respond to the breath. Maybe the shoulders rise a little bit. Or maybe the body sways. Start to add in a pause just after the exhale. Exhaling all the way, maybe even contracting the stomach muscles in so that we allow for every bit of breath to leave the body, fully cleansing and emptying the lungs. And when you feel it's right to inhale, pull the breath in through the nose or mouth, fully filling the lungs, perhaps even sitting a little taller as the breath rises up to the heart and chest space. Exhale all the way. Relax the chest, the middle back, low back, and belly. Pull the abdomen in. Pause after the exhale. Inhale whenever your body is wanting that breath. Pull the breath in, creating even more effort on the inhale. And then exhale all the way. Pause, create effort on the exhale, pulling the stomach muscles in, contracting the side ribs, maybe even dropping the chest down. One more time, inhale, big breath, filling the belly, through the ribs, up to the heart, maybe even letting the shoulders rise. And then exhale, relax the chest, the ribs, the belly and low back. Pulling the stomach muscles in, maybe dropping the chin, leaning forward just a bit to contract the muscles in the abdomen a little more. Inhale, sitting tall. Let's release the hands out beside us. From here, go ahead and bend both knees and let those knees come in front of the body. We're sliding our hands past the hips, either keeping the palms flat to the floor. Fingertips are facing the hips or in the direction of your feet. Option to lean back onto your elbows if that's more comfortable. Take the feet as wide as your hips or maybe even as wide as your yoga mat. Let's exhale, sway the knees over to the right, only going as far as the body permits. Maybe lifting that left hip up just a little bit while those knees are swayed over to the right. On the next inhale, bring the knees to center. Exhale, twist the legs over to the left. And again, Maybe we lift the hip. This time we'll be lifting the right hip, pushing back into that right foot. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist left. Bringing out the gut. Bringing out the lungs. One more time to each side. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. From here, let's exhale right. Coming around into all fours, preparing for cat and cow flow. Cat and cow flow can be done on the forearms. Cat and cow flow can also be done from a seated or a standing position. If we are choosing to come down onto the hands or maybe the elbows instead of seated, maybe just take a look at the joints in the arms, seeing that there is a straight line down from the shoulder to the elbow, and then from the elbow to the wrist, moving out the fingers. Let's spread the fingers out, creating a 5-pointed star or a starfish, seeing that the knees are open to hips width, feet open the same width as the knees. As we inhale, we're dropping the belly, unhinging at the waist, flipping the hips back, lengthening out through the neck and crown of the head, inhaling into cow pose. Exhaling, pulling the navel up, dropping the tailbone down and dropping the head, feeling a lift through the middle of the shoulder blades. Breathe here. Inhale in cat pose. Exhale in cat. Now inhale to cow. Holding cow pose. Hold it here to exhale and inhale. Exhale to cat. Hold it here. Inhale in cat. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. Now moving one breath, one movement. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. Just a couple more like this. Exhale cat, rounding the spine, pulling the navel up tight into the abdomen. Inhaling into cow. Last time. Holding cat pose, deep contraction in the abdomen. Holding it here, pull the muscles up in the pelvic floor. Imagine a yoga block or even a volleyball between the knees and thighs. So we're squeezing in with the thighs and lifting through the pelvic floor. Pull the navel in tight to strengthen the core muscles and flush out the gut. Inhale, flip the hips back, finding neutral spine. From neutral spine, let's extend the right arm forward. Exhale, lower down. Switching sides, extending the left arm forward. Exhale down. One more time each side, inhaling left arm. Exhale. Inhale, other side. And exhale. Let's switch this to the feet. Inhaling right foot straight back. And now exhale down. Inhaling left foot back. Exhale in. One more each side. Inhale, right leg back. And down. Now left leg back. And down. Now let's put it together. Feel the weight shifting over into the left knee. Let's extend the right leg back. The height of the leg can actually affect the comfort in your back. So if you're feeling pressure in the back, lower that leg just a little bit. Let's shift the weight over either into the right hand or right elbow. Looking down at our yoga mat. Reaching with the left hand, we have opposite arm and opposite leg extended out from the trunk of the body. Inhale, reach with the hand, press back with the foot. Exhale, slowly bring the limbs in. From here, let's touch the toes together and press the hips back, resetting the low back before we do the other side. Walking the hands out in front of the body, finding child's pose, relaxing the head down, maybe even letting the head roll left and right. On the next inhale, shifting forward, sliding the hands in directly under the shoulders and the elbows, separating the feet to the same width as our knees. Let's extend our left leg back, and again, pausing for a moment to notice the sensations in the low back. If there is pressure or discomfort of any kind, lower that left leg down. Let the weight shift over into the left hand or the left elbow, reaching out with the right hand, pressing back through the left foot, reaching with that right arm. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, slowly bring the limbs in. Let's reset the hips and back, touch the toes together. Reach the hips back towards the heels. Walk the hands out, and again, relax the head and the neck. Looking ahead, shifting forward, let's slide the hands in for support, separating the toes. Making our way up to standing, slowly transitioning. Let's step one foot forward, maybe bring one hand to a thigh for support. Tuck the back toe to shift into that front leg, lifting the back knee, stepping forward, hands to the thighs or shins. Let's walk the hands up, making our way into our standing position for mountain pose. Take a moment to slowly shift left and right into the soles of the feet. Maybe even shift forward and back just a little bit, giving the body some time to recruit the muscles that are necessary to keep us strong and balanced in our standing sequence today. From here, let's inhale, reaching both arms straight up overhead, extended mountain. Option to lift the heels just a little bit. The higher the heels go, the more we're going to want to press the hips forward and reach out of the armpits. Dropping those heels, exhale, swan diving, forward fold, sending the hips back, relaxing the hands down onto our legs. Hands might press into the shins or the thighs, avoiding those delicate knees. Let's shake the head yes, and turn the head left and right. Finding any still point for the body, softening through the knees. Let's slide the hands up to the shins or the thighs for support. Creating a flat back, feeling the weight of our body supported into the soles of the feet. Inhaling, reverse swan dive, big breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms back, bring them through in front of the body to shoulder height. Let's sit the hips back for chair pose. Inhale, sweeping the arms back and around, extended mountain. Option to lift the heels, press the hips forward, pull up and out of the armpits to reach. Exhale, swan diving down. Pressing the hips back, shake the head yes, and turn it left and right. Rising up halfway, hands slide up to the shins or thighs, flattening the back. Inhaling, reverse swan dive. Exhale, sweep the arms back and around, sitting back, chair pose. Let's flow through that sequence at least one more time. Inhale, reach. Lift the heels. Push the hips forward, lift the ribs, reach tall, big inhale. Exhale, swan diving, forward fold. Inhaling, lifting halfway, hands to the shins or thighs. Exhale in place, flat back. Inhaling, reverse swan dive. Exhaling, circle sweeping the arms, sitting the hips back, chair pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, chair pose. Repeating chair pose a few times to further warm up the legs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chair pose. Maybe just 2 more. Inhale, up and reach. Big inhale. Exhale from the throat. Last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, chair. Inhale, reaching up and overhead. Let's lace the fingers together over our head. Invert the palms and press up. Palm gesture. Stepping the feet together. Maybe there's a little space between the toes, but not too much. From here, with our toes touching, little space between the heels. Let's pull out of that right armpit. Maybe even keep the elbows bent a little bit. Lean over to the left. Let's look over to the left. Option to close the eyes, finding the breath around the right side of your chest. Just one more big breath. Bring it to center. Elbows stay soft. Lifting the left armpit, leaning over to the right, looking to the right. Inhale over to the left side of the chest. Opening up that space under the armpits, stretching through the rib muscles. Bring it to center. Bring the hands to the heart. Anjali Mudra, the gesture of physical reverence. Let's step the feet out just to the width of the pelvis bones. So the feet are more narrow than the hip bones to support the body here. Closing the eyes, breathing easy, bowing the chin. Notice the body being pulled slightly forward or back. Maybe it gets pulled to the left or the right, just tuning in to how the body's nervous system is adapting whenever we take away sight, noticing what parts of the body are recruited as a result of us taking away sight for balance, and instead leaning into your body's own felt sense to stay centered. Opening the eyes, looking down towards the floor. Let's step our left foot back, a very short stride. Inhale, reaching both arms straight up overhead, separating the hands out to shoulder height. Turning the palms forward. Exhale, bending the right knee, pulling the elbows down and in towards the waistline. Inhale, reaching up, straightening the right leg. Turning the palms in, holding a beach ball. Exhale, palms forward, bending the right knee, pulling the elbows down towards the ribs. Keeping that rhythm, one breath, one movement. Inhale, reaching up, palms press in towards each other. Exhale, bending the right knee, pulling the elbows in. Just a couple more. Once we've seen the movement, and the body has had an opportunity to practice the movement, maybe close the eyes just on this last flow, trying to close the eyes at some point. Inhaling to lift, press the palms in. Exhale, bending the front knee, drawing the elbows in, holding it here with the elbows at the waist, a bend in the right knee, warrior one with cactus arms. From here, let's bring the fingertips onto the tops of the shoulders. Take the elbows forward, up, back and around, circling those elbows out. Inhaling as the chest opens, lifting the elbows, inhale, open. Exhale, relax. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. Keep lunging forward, inhale, open. Exhale, down. Just one more. Inhale, open. And exhale, down. Let's take the hands by our low back, straightening the right leg. Exaggerating a lift in the chest, exaggerating a breath around the heart. 3 chest expansions. Inhale, big breath into the center of the chest, lifting the ribs, looking up to where the wall meets the ceiling, and then exhale, relax. 2 more, big breath in, lift, and then relax. Last one. 1 big inhale. And now relax. From here, let's bend the right knee, hands to the heart, stepping forward so the feet are at the width of the pelvis bones, resetting the spine, the hips, and the shoulders, chair flow. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead. Exhale, taking the hands back and around, sitting the hips back for chair. 2 more. Inhale, up and overhead. Exhale, back, arms pull through and reach. Inhale, back and around, last one. Exhale, back and around, arms reaching through at shoulder height. Chair pose. Inhaling, arms up and overhead, palms coming to the heart. Closing the eyes, pressing the thumbs into the center of the chest. Again, tuning into any direction the body is being pulled energetically. Noticing what happens if you allow your body to just go with the flow. The body's gonna lean into that subtle pull. And over time, as we get a little more courageous in letting the body lead, we might notice that the body starts to circle a little bit. Our body starts to circle around its own center of gravity for balance. Lowering the chin, opening our eyes, stepping our right foot back this time, a very casual stride, bending the left knee, opening up the arms, cactus arms in warrior 1 position. Inhaling, straightening the left leg, reaching the arms out. The palms are facing in as if we're holding on to a beach ball. Big inhale, reach. Exhale, palms forward, elbows in, bending the left knee, rocking forward. Inhale, rising up, palms in. Exhale, palms forward, bending the knee. Inhale, nice and slow. Imagine you're lifting weights above your head, creating dynamic tension. Palms forward, we're pulling down nice and slow as we shift into that left leg. Trying maybe 2 more. Option to close the eyes. Inhale, reach. Palms are facing in. Exhale, palms forward, pulling down. Just 1 more. Big inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, pull down. Keeping the elbows in, holding it here, keeping the chest open. Let's take the hands onto the tops of the shoulders. Inhale, pull the heart open. Exhale, press it forward. Circle it back. Inhale, open. And exhale, down. 3 more circles. Inhale, open. And exhale, down. Last one, inhaling through the nose. Exhale from the throat. Let's take the hands down to our low back, straightening that front leg, exaggerating the breath in the heart, opening the chest, bowing out the chest and lungs. Big inhale, big breath. Lift, open the throat, and then exhale. 2 more. Big inhale, reach, lift the sternum, lift the crown of the head and chin. Exhale, relax, gentle belly contraction. Last one, big inhale, opening up, pulling up out of the ribs and out of the throat and head. Exhale, relax. From here, let's bend our front knee, step forward, feet are at the width of the pelvis bones. Let's center the hips in the body with our chair flow again. Soft through the knees. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, arms sweeping back. Press the hips back. Reach the arms through, flat back. Inhale, back and around. Exhale, back and around, sitting back. Just one more option to close the eyes. Practicing based on what feels right. You can follow the breath or take the cue from the body. Inhaling, standing tall, extended mountain. Exhale, press the palms down towards the heart. And again, pressing those thumbs into the chest, Anjali Mudra. Maybe take the feet out to a little bit of a wider stance and close the eyes. Tune into the pull of the body as it begins to circle a little bit. And if you don't feel that circle, maybe start to encourage it. You can start by shifting left, shift right, shifting left and right just a few times, easy sway. And then come to center, shift forward and back. And again, this is done with the eyes closed to help to strengthen the peripheral nervous system. It's working with proprioception. Coming to a still point, take it to the left. Shift back a little bit, take it to the right. And now shift forward. Shift left. Shift back. Shift right, shift forward. Now circle it around. So we're basically with the hips making this counterclockwise circle, shifting with the body. Let's try that on the opposite direction, starting slow. Shift right, shift back, shift left, and forward. Going clockwise now with the body. Right, back, left, and forward. Now notice how the weight is shifting in the soles of the feet. And we're actually beginning to almost replicate the movement you would have if you were standing on a surfboard or if you were standing on a boat. Just allow your body to tune into that rhythm. Ride the wave of the breath. Circling around just one more time. Coming to a still point, relax the hands and kick off the legs and the knees. Moving into our standing balancing pose today, we have Warrior 3 pose. So traditionally, Warrior 3 pose is a pose done where you would have one leg back and both arms forward. This is very traditional. We are looking at adapting the pose so that we're able to recruit the muscles that are going to support the pose from the ground up. That way we reduce injury. So maybe we do the arms today, maybe not. There are a lot of variations on this. I do recommend having a chair or a wall nearby. That can be really helpful in the pose. So I am standing by a wall, and just for today, I'm allowing the inside of my body, I'm allowing that inside arm to touch the wall. Allowing the knees to be soft, we're pushing the hips back. And the position that we're beginning in is a lot like chair pose. So we already practiced this earlier with the body, very similar position. From here, we're taking the inside leg. So for me, it's my right arm and my right leg. And we're slowly sliding it back. You can keep that knee bent, or you can push that leg back with a flat or pointed toe. Option to keep it right here, or maybe take your outside arm, whatever arm is free, and start reaching behind you. Keep the spine long. The neck is like a turtle coming out of its shell. So we're keeping some length in the body. The trunk or the core of the body is your strong turtle shell. Option to experiment with taking the arm outside the shoulder at shoulder height, and then maybe taking the arm in front of the body. Just noticing that when we reach down, a lot of times what happens is our upper back goes down. So if you're working on posture, stay lifted, act surprised, 1, 2, 3, and then keep the hands close to the body for proper upper body posture. One more big inhale. And now exhale, relax. Let's shake everything off. Moving into our warrior 3 on the other side. I'm standing on my left leg and I have my left hand touching the wall. Softening the knees, pushing the hips back, flat back, just like chair pose. Sliding my outer leg, my right foot back, pushing straight back with that right leg. You can point or flex your foot. Extending back with that right arm, maybe to the side, maybe straight ahead. The safest place for the arm will be behind us, keeping a nice big lift in the heart, looking up, head stays higher than the heart stays higher than the hips. One more big inhale, and then exhale, relax. Shake everything off. All right, let's grab a sip of water as we prepare for a little bit of work down on the floor today. To safely transition down to the floor first, don't do what I did. It's okay to come into a squat, but if you are curious about safer transitions, what we recommend is inhale the arms up first, exhale swan dive. Hips go back, hands to the thighs, flat back. Walking the hands towards the floor, taking one foot back, both knees bend, and then taking our other foot back, finding all fours position. From all fours, let's sweep those feet over to one side and come into seated with the knees bent in front of the body. Having the feet out to about the width of the hips, maybe a little less, as we prepare for a core strengthening pose called Boat Navasana. From here, step 1 is to check in with our low back. I recommend sitting on a blanket or even on a rolled up yoga mat. I call this creating the perch for your body. As we sit on the edge of the mat, you want to make sure that you're right on the edge, so you're going to almost slide off. This ensures that you get a tilt in the pelvis, encouraging a neutral low back. So hopefully eliminating a lot of pressure in your vertebra and disc of the lumbar spine. Sitting nice and tall, step 1 is to establish a tall posture in your seated foundation. Step 2 is to check in with the upper body, with the upper spine. So we've got our lower spine in check, seated on the perch, and then we're moving into the middle back and the upper spine. Option to turn the thumbs up or even the palms up. Inhale, reaching those arms up towards the sky, pulling up out of the armpits, priming those upper body and those spine muscles for a little more work. From here, lowering the hands down, maybe keeping the hands on our perch, fingertips are facing the heels, or walk the hands back a little bit, fingertip light. You could also go back onto your elbows if that feels better. From here, we're simply hovering the left foot and then lower down. Hover the right foot, lower down, and maybe continue to alternate. Hover and lift, alternating the hover and lift. To build on this, maybe lifting the opposite arm. So we have right leg, left arm, left leg, right arm. Next would be to lift both arms, right leg with both arms. And down, left leg, both arms. One more each side, either both arms or one arm at a time. Option to keep both hands on the ground, lean back, pull the left knee in, then pull the right knee in to possibly hover both feet off the ground. Another option is to release the hands. Maybe hold on behind the thighs or behind the knees to keep that lift and that core strength in check. Wherever you are with this, keep breathing. Big inhale and exhale. 2 more big breaths. Let's slowly lower the feet, touch the toes together, and open the knees for butterfly pose. Let's check the alignment here for safety reasons. This is a pose that might feel okay when you're seated on the floor, but later on when we stand up, it could cause some pain in the knees. So if you just sort of check in with the length of your own foot, make sure there is that same amount of space away from your body or away from the pelvic floor with the feet. This way we're not over bending the kneecaps. From here, sitting nice and tall, breathe into the center of the chest. And now exhale, come forward, maybe just 2 or 3 inches. We just want to give the spine just a little bit of a taste of the stretch. Inhale in place. Exhale from the throat. Come forward just a little more. Inhale again. Exhale from the throat, lean forward. Hold it there. Now at some point, your body is going to naturally soften. Eventually the spine is going to create a very soft C shape. And really the C shape is probably almost too much. It's just a very gentle curve through the spine from the low back, through your shoulders and over the crown of the head. Try exhaling from the throat, move the jaw around. At least 1 more long exhale here. To safely come up, let's keep the head hanging down. Walk the hands in on top the knees or the thighs. Starting to use the hands to gently prop up the spine. We're stacking the spine from the low back to the middle back, upper back, and then finally neck and head. Let's extend our left leg out straight, keeping the toes pulling back towards the body, a flat foot. Bringing our right knee up, lining up the heel with the right hip bone or that right sitting bone. Let's reach our left arm up, big breath in. Open up that left armpit. As you exhale, start twisting to the right, looking over your right shoulder. Taking the left hand down and across to the right shin. Rolling that right shoulder back. And maybe placing the right hand down on the ground behind you. We can lean back a little bit if that's more comfortable. The breath is a little challenged here. We cannot breathe fully down into the belly. So instead, let that breath stay in your upper chest, just next to the heart. One more breath to the right side of the heart. And exhale. Slowly push off that back hand to shift forward. From here, let's extend the right leg, keeping the foot flat. We're drawing those toes towards our body, bending the left knee, seeing that the left heel lines up with the left sitting bone or the left hip. Sitting nice and tall on our perch, moving to the edge of that perch if we shifted at all. Reaching up with the right arm this time. Inhale, breathe into that right lung, lift out of the hip. And then exhale, twist to the left. Right hand goes to the left shin. Left arm comes back behind us. Maybe the hand is flat to the floor. Maybe we reach back and we can lean back into that left hand. Notice if your knee is opening And maybe try pressing down into the inside of the left foot. Breathe into that upper left lung. One more big breath in, big inhale. And now exhale, slowly bring it to center. Let's extend both legs out straight. If this feels uncomfortable at all, usually the discomfort will be in the low back or the hips. This is because when we straighten the legs, we're stretching the muscles in the back of the leg. These muscles can be tight. They can get very tight. It's very common to have tight hamstrings. These muscles, when they are tight, will pull on the low back and will cause our spine to round in an unnatural way. To help the spine and to help the hamstrings, we can always bend the knees as much as the body likes, and then notice if that helps us to correct the spine posture. So as soon as we straighten the legs, if we notice the spine rounding, we know that we've hit that tipping point and it's time to keep the knees bent. From wherever your body is, establish that long spine. Knees can be bent or straight. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. On the exhale, start to lean forward, leading with the heart, keeping the ribs lifted. If you're not sure what the ribs are doing, sometimes it's hard without a mirror to know where the body is and what it's doing. Hold on to your ribs, pull the stomach up, and then lean forward. Option to place the hands on top of the thighs, the knees, or shins, maybe even touching the toes if it is a comfortable reach. On the next exhale, let your upper body round softly and drop the head and the neck. Seated forward fold, cleaning out the backs of the lungs, contracting through the stomach. There is a little bit of cat pose in this. As we exhale and pause, we can pull the stomach muscles in tight, and then inhale into your back. Exhale, cat, pull the stomach muscles in tight. Inhale, relax. Let's open our eyes, walk the hands in. Bending the knees deep so that we can let those knees sway over to one side. If you're on a perch or a blanket, maybe move that out of the way. We may want to use that blanket or perch as a pillow. Let's lie down on our sides for a moment. Keeping the knees pulled in our side lying child's pose or sleeping child's pose. Closing the eyes and allowing the breath to move into our low back and hips. Perhaps even feeling that we receive the breath through the hips and through the tailbone region. Allowing that breath to rise up through the sides of the spine, under the shoulder blades. And then exhale, noticing that there is an effortless release, allowing any tension or stress that might be hiding in the body to gently slip away with that breath. We may want to stay here a little longer, or we could roll over onto our backs. If we're lying on our backs, we could always hug the knees in towards the chest. Hold on behind the thighs and maybe stretch those legs up to the ceiling. Circling out the ankles. Pointing and flexing the feet. We already did a lot of pointing and flexing the feet, especially when we were rocking forward and back. Also, when we lifted up and lifted the heels into extended mountain, Different this time though, different in that we have gravity encouraging lymphatic fluid to drain. Also different because there's no pressure in the joint. So we might be able to work on more mobility here. Let's take our feet to a flat position as if we're trying to step on the ceiling. Open the legs up wide into a straddle. Bring the hands to the sides or backs of the thighs. And now let those knees draw in towards your armpits, coming into happy baby pose. Looking up at the ceiling, adding in a little bit of a playful rock from side to side. When you're ready, take your time, come to a still point. Slowly bring the knees together, draw the thighs straight into the belly and gut, working with a belly press. This is a flushing for the energies of the gut and the stomach. From here, let's lower the feet. Maybe let the knees sway a little bit left and right. From here, moving into final relaxation and meditation pose. For your final relaxation and meditation, you're welcome to straighten the legs out one at a time, allowing the feet to relax. They're going to roll out to the side. Maybe if there is any discomfort in the back, maybe take the feet wide, then let the knees come in and touch. This is used to open the joints in the low back, and it stretches the outer hips. Another option is to roll to your side again. If you found this comfortable, grab your pillow, maybe even pull a blanket over you. No matter where you decide to go, remember that you don't have to stay still, and you can change positions at any time to encourage more comfort in your body for our final meditation and relaxation. From here, tune into your breath, noticing the exhale first. So the exhale is more important than the inhale. In order for us to fill the body with fresh breath, to restore the body with the life force, we need to make space for that breath. So that begins with the exhale. The exhale makes the space that we need for those renewing breaths. Exhaling all the way, maybe even with a sigh. Inhaling big. Exhale, let it all go. Now just breathe easy. There's no rush. Absolutely no rush with the breath. On every exhale, allow your body to feel very heavy. Every exhale allows us to let go of any burdens, any stress, any to-do list, any distracting thoughts that could ultimately stand between us and a deep sense of peace. Let it go with the breath and allow your body to rest heavy. Slowing down the exhale, noticing not only are we able to rest heavy into the earth, but at the same time, the earth rises up to meet us, shaping itself to our bodies. Feeling as if you're resting in soft earth. Become aware of the space between your belly button and spine. Sensing the presence of a warm gold light. Perhaps even seeing a gold flame. Heavy on the exhale, on the inhale, the flame rises. Every inhale, the breath fans the fire. And this flame grows in intensity, moving up into the chest. Warm waves of gold light moving down into the hips. Eventually, the whole body filled with this warm gold light, and gold light seeping from the pores, creating a gold aura around the body. This gold light represents a greater self, a higher self. Perhaps feel that the presence of this light, that you can sense it expanding well beyond your physical body. Sensing that this light, a form of the self, can grow so big that it takes up all of the space in the room that you're in. Still anchored by the exhale, there's that heaviness in the hip, reminding us of where we are in space and time, and then balancing that out with the opposite, our expansive nature. Inhale, the light expands beyond the room. Expanding out into the sky, into the cosmos. Staying with the breath, sensing the presence of your physical form anchored to the earth and the presence of a higher self, maybe even the spirit. Placing hands over the heart. Crossing the hands over the chest. Maybe even walk the fingertips over to embrace the body for a moment. Giving yourself a hug. From here, we can close together. Draw in a deep breath. Exhale with a sigh. From here, in closing, namaste, everyone. Go enjoy your beautiful day, your beautiful fall. I'll see you next week.